Yo, real talk. 2025 is going to be the year that either changes your life forever or passes you by like every other year before it. And I know you've felt that feeling before, like time's just moving, but you're not really getting anywhere. So give me just a few minutes, and I promise, by the end of this video, you're going to feel something switch in your brain. We're locking in hard this year. No more wasted time, no more distractions, just straight up undeniable progress. I'm not here to give you some fluffy motivation that hypes you up for 10 minutes and then disappears the moment you close this video. Nah, we're about to actually shift your mindset so that by the time we're done talking, you won't even recognize the version of yourself that was slacking yesterday. Because once you start seeing things differently, once you really get it, there's no going back. All right, so let's get real. Most people don't lock in because they're waiting for motivation to hit them like some magic lightning bolt. They think one day they're just gonna wake up and feel like working out, feel like grinding, feel like putting in that work. But that's a lie. That's the biggest trap. Motivation is not some special spark that appears when the universe decides you deserve it. It's built, it's created. And the best way to create motivation is by getting started before you feel ready. Think about it. How many times have you not wanted to do something, but the second you actually started, it wasn't that bad? Maybe you didn't want to hit the gym, but once you got there, you were in the zone. Maybe you didn't want to start that assignment, but once you finally did, you found a rhythm. That's because action creates momentum, and momentum kills procrastination. So here's the deal. Starting is always the hardest part. Your brain is wired to avoid discomfort, to keep you in your comfort zone, because comfort means safety. But guess what? Comfort is also the reason you're stuck. Comfort is the reason another year went by without real change. And if you want 2025 to be different, you have to stop negotiating with yourself. Stop debating whether you feel like it and just start. The feeling catches up later. And let's talk about distractions, because if we're being honest, that's what's killing your focus more than anything. The reason you're struggling to lock in isn't because you're lazy or incapable. It's because your brain is constantly being hijacked. Your phone, social media, random notifications, pointless scrolling, it's all designed to keep you hooked. And every time you fall into that trap, you're training your brain to crave quick dopamine hits instead of real progress. Here's something crazy. The same way you can build discipline, you can also build addiction to distractions. Every time you check your phone instead of working, you're reinforcing the habit of escaping hard work. But the good news? That means you can also rewire it. And the first step is awareness. Next time you catch yourself reaching for your phone without thinking, stop. Ask yourself, am I doing this because I need to, or because my brain is craving an easy way out? That tiny moment of awareness, that's where you start taking control back. And speaking of control, let's talk about how you use your time. Because listen, 2025 is not the year for excuses. I don't have time is the biggest lie we tell ourselves. You have time, you just don't use it right. Think about how many hours disappear in a week from doing mindless things, scrolling, binge watching, saying yes to things you don't even care about. The truth is, you don't need more time. You need better priorities. If something is important to you, it should be in your schedule, period. If you want to get in shape, workouts shouldn't be a when I feel like it thing. They should be on your calendar, like a non-negotiable meeting. If you want to build a skill, improve your mindset, start a project, schedule it. Stop waiting for the right time. The right time is whenever you decide it is. And let's get into one more thing, who you surround yourself with. Because locking in isn't just about what you do, it's about what energy you allow around you. You ever notice how when you're around people who are always complaining, always making excuses, you start slipping into that mindset too? It's contagious. But the opposite is true too. Get around people who are actually working, actually pushing themselves, actually committed to leveling up, and suddenly that energy becomes your new normal. And look, I know not everyone has a circle like that in real life, but that's not an excuse. The internet exists. Follow people who inspire you. Watch content that makes you want to work harder. Read books that challenge your thinking. Your environment isn't just the people around you, it's what you consume. So make sure it's pushing you forward, not holding you back. All right, so here's the deal. 2025 is happening, whether you're locked in or not. The question is, are you going to wake up a year from now feeling proud of how much you've grown? Or are you going to be in the exact same place, making the same excuses? Because time doesn't stop. But you have a choice right now, in this moment. And I know it's easy to think, I'll start tomorrow. But that's the biggest trap of all. Tomorrow turns into next week, next month, next year, and before you know it, another 365 days are gone. So don't wait. Don't overthink it. Just start. One action, one step, right now. Because the second you do, you'll realize locking in isn't as hard as you thought. You just have to decide.